Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we are going to be testing out, reviewing a whole slew of new makeup. We have some high-end, some drugstore, some things that I promised you reviews on that I haven't gotten to yet on this channel, and some other things that maybe I've talked about once or twice. I have almost a full face. I'm very excited. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. So starting with primers, I have two primers from Danessa Myricks. I have the Yummy Skin Blur Balm Original Universal, like the more mattifying one, and I have the Radiant one. So I haven't tried either of these. I thought that we could, this one's new, this one's old. I thought that we could test them side by side so that way you can see what the difference is between the original one and the new Radiant one. So love the packaging and how it has a little spatula. I love that it has a little spatula that is right in the top, so you can just keep it, you're not going to lose it, and you don't need to shove your fingers into the product. So I have actually dug into this one time. I'm just going to use this. This is the original one. Actually, let me show you side by side. So this is the original one, and this is the Radiant one. So this one has like a little bit of like micro kind of shimmers in it. It's a little bit shimmery, whereas this one is just kind of bland. I'm gonna take this much of the original one. This is really supposed to, I guess, blur the skin and give it kind of like a perfected, mattified look. It feels a very like creamy and like balmy and melty, almost into like an oil. So I don't actually know. Like this looks very, very glowy, and this is the original one. Feels very slippery. Yeah, even on my hand where I've met like it's like an oil once it melts. I guess I will let this sit for a minute, but I don't, does it look matte and blurred? Maybe it just needs to set. Maybe I'm just being impatient. But I feel like I haven't seen a single person say that about this. Everyone's like, it's blurring and it's mattifying, and I'm like, it feels oily. I maybe see like a little bit more blurring on these pores than over here, so it definitely took away a little bit of that shine, but it's not flat. Let me know if you see a difference, because I guess I see, okay, now that it's settling down, I feel like it's getting a little bit more matte. Now I'm gonna dig into the Radiant one, and this is what it looks like on the hand. It's a little bit reflective, and I'm just gonna put that in all the same spaces. This one weirdly feels less oily. Let me get you really close. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see. There are like little micro, like there's glitter on my face. There's visible little flecks of glitter on my face, which I don't love, but in a primer I'm not as mad about it, because you know you're gonna put foundation and concealer and other things over top, so that glitter is probably not going to be as visible once the makeup is done. But if you're wearing this on its own, it is visible. But I think it did also blur a little bit. Like when you're looking at it straight on with the light hitting it, of course it's gonna reflect, but when I turn, I feel like it's pretty blurred, because I'm having a little bit of trouble like in my mirror seeing if there's like a real kind of difference. Can you tell me if you see a difference? This is the original Yummy Blur Balm, and then this is the Radiant one. Do you see any sort of a difference? Because really the only difference that I feel like I'm seeing is that this side has a little bit of glitter on it. For foundation, we're gonna go in with the Versed Skin Tint. I just did an entire video talking about the entire Versed makeup line. I have been using this, no joke, every day I've done my makeup since then. I still stand by that I wish it didn't have a smell, but in terms of being like really light coverage and a really nice kind of natural finish, it's really nice, and it's pretty pink toned, which is kind of hard to find, especially at the drugstore. It's a little bit more than a traditional just like tint, but it's not anywhere like medium buildable, nothing close to that. You can still see everything through it. It just offers some coverage. So I do put up with the scent of this product because it's just so pretty. And I feel like my skin has been doing really well recently, so I'm not reaching for my more like medium or fuller coverage foundations. I've been really getting down with a light coverage foundation because I feel like my skin is just looking really, really nice. And I've been getting tons of compliments on my skin and my makeup when I'm wearing this, so that's just kind of like been incentivizing me to keep wearing it. But if you are sensitive to smells and like sunscreen scents, don't even bother. Like it just looks like my skin, but better. It's so stunning. No brush strokes, no bunching, no patchiness, no clinging to dry patches. It is just like my skin, but better. Even though this has a sunscreen smell, I have been reaching for it over my Buttermelt Glaze skin tint. So out of the two, they are, honestly, this one's actually cheaper. No. So this one's $16, this one's $19.99, so it's a little bit more expensive. They both have a scent. This one's just mango scented and this one is sunscreen scented. This is the Versed right here in the lightest shade of 1C, and then this is the NYX in the lightest shade of Whipped Butter, and you can see the Versed is a lot lighter than the NYX. This one, I didn't think it oxidized at first, but since I've been using it more and more and more, it oxidizes like maybe like a quarter to a half a shade, not even like a shade darker, but it just turns a little bit more from like straight pink to like pinky peach. Now for concealer, this has been a very, very popular concealer on TikTok. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear concealer. I feel like every other video I see is an ad for this. This is a silicone-based concealer. I have the shade of 0.5C, which is the lightest shade, and it's a little pink toned. I think the shade range could go a little bit lighter, but I do find that the shade works for me. And the doe foot's really nice. It doesn't pick up too much product, so it's kind of hard to go overboard with this, which is always really nice. And I've been really liking this concealer because I've kind of realized that I like silicone-based concealers more than other concealers because I find that they just are very flexible under the eyes because they have those silicones. They're able to move kind of with your under eye and with your face because when the face moves, those silicones are flexible, so they're able to kind of wiggle around on top of the skin rather than break apart when the face like scrunches together and then separates. The silicones are able to do that as well. So it kind of moves with your skin to help it look better and fresher longer rather than separating and settling and breaking up. And even though this is in the Double Wear line, I don't find that it's like overly full coverage, too much pigment. Like the Double Wear foundation, like that thing, not for the faint of heart. This concealer I feel like is a lot more approachable. A lot of different people can use this. It's pretty beginner friendly, I think, because it is silicone based. It's very easy to blend out. It wears beautifully throughout the day. She's expensive though. Okay, she's not cheap, but I would be lying if I didn't say that my under eyes look beautiful. And it blends out very easy. This is like a no frills, foolproof concealer. I've been really, really loving this. I do not have any issues with it creasing or breaking up throughout the day. I think, again, one, because it's part of the Double Wear line, so it's meant for long wear, and also it is silicone based, so gorgeous. And these, I did promise you a review on. These are the Essence Contouring Duo Sticks. We talked about these in my last reviewing new makeup video, and I said that we were gonna hold off on them. Well, today is the day. I have the two lightest shades, 10 fair and a 20 light. So this is 10 fair, and you can see that's pretty warm toned. I use this one as a bronzer, not a contour like it is marketed as. And then this is 20 light. You can see much, much cooler in tone than 10 fair. I'm actually gonna use both today. I'm going to bronze with fair and then contour with light. And these are very creamy and fairly sheer as well, so I do draw them directly on the face because, one, I'm not sharing them with anybody, and they are so creamy that they don't lift what's underneath it, and they blend out like a dream. I'm just gonna buff these out pretty gently. Like that blended out in 2 seconds, and it's super sheer, already pretty light and neutral in tone. So if you are very fair and you struggle to find bronzers that are just light enough for you, that don't overpower your face, I would highly recommend the Essence Contouring Duo Sticks for a contour or a bronzer because the formula just works so well. I am gonna put this on a brush first, and then we're gonna contour with this shade, just kind of pressing it under that cheekbone. And then I feel like I overdid it on this side, so I'm just gonna tap over it with my concealer brush to help blend it out a bit more so it's not as harsh. And there we are, contoured and bronzed, but it's not too much. It's very light and very, very sheer. These are super wearable for every day. They blend out extremely smoothly, not patchy at all, just a sheer wash over the skin. Very creamy, very blendable, very sheer. I love them. I love when I find bronzers and contours that are light enough for my pale skin because it sounds like it would be easy to find, but it's actually not. Everything is very orange or way too dark. And I just put on for blush Mango People Sweet Berry. This is one of my favorite berry blushes of all time. I've talked about this before. And for a powder, we are going to set our face with the L'Oreal Infallible Blur-fection setting powder. This is brand new from L'Oreal, and I have seen this all over TikTok. One of the things that I love and hate about the packaging is that the dots are only in one little section, which is nice because it prevents it from, like, you know, busting out everywhere, but takes so much more time to get it out. I also typically don't love pink powders because I find that they're just always a little bit too pink and a little bit too pigmented on my fair skin, but this one is actually pretty nice. And the way that I like to use this powder is I like to pick up a little bit on the tip of my puff, and then I will use on a puff right under my eyes to really set those creases under my eye. And then this powder does a really good job of blurring, so I want to do a before and after on the pore. So this is what it looks like a before, and then after. Like, we are very, very up close. It blurs very, like, even in real life, I am looking in my mirror, my pores are gone. I will say some shine does come through back throughout the day, so it's not like you're gonna put it on now and it's gonna look blurred for the entire day. You still do need to touch up a little bit with this powder. It's not the most industrial strength that I've ever used, but it holds up very, very well, especially for a talc-free powder. I feel like a lot of talc-free powders get very glowy fairly quickly. This one holds up for most of the day. I did an entire 8-hour wear test on my TikTok. I will have that linked down below. It really smooths the skin without looking too powdery. It really doesn't look powdery at all. I have the shade light pink, by the way. Did I even say that? I have a light pink, which definitely adds a little bit of a pink hue, but not as bad as some other pink powders. And I want to get you really up close so you can see just how nicely this powder sets into the skin. Like, it really settles in once you press it in. Doesn't look powdery all over. Notice after a couple hours, my skin settles more into a demi-matte finish with a slight blur rather than like the full like matte blur that it looks like right now. My one big issue with this product though is it is $13.99 for 6 grams of product. Like, that 6 for a loose powder. I know people are going down to like 10, people are going down to 8 grams, and that infuriated me, but 6? This is almost as expensive per gram as the Makeup by Mario setting powder. Like, I know L'Oreal is a more expensive drugstore brand, but like 6 grams, it's a good powder. But 6 grams, a lot of things, I'm not too mad if the size goes down. Like a cream blush, when's the last time you finished one in a reasonable amount of time? Exactly. Setting powder, people go through, especially like a loose powder, because you lose some to the air and stuff, you go through these fairly quickly. You're using a lot of powder and you're using it probably on a daily basis. So loose setting powder is one of the products that I go through the fastest. 6 grams? You're gonna go through this like twice as fast as your other powders. But I'd be lying if I said my skin doesn't look immaculate. It looks so good. On the eyes, I think this is relatively new, or they just came out with new shades, but I have not talked about this yet. This is the Half Magic Sparklestik. I have the shade Fauxbot because I have been wanting something kind of like cool toned silvery brown for a long time. And this shade, stunning. The one big off the bat issue with these is that this used to have a point. It broke off the first time I used it, and barely had this for a month, and it's already like, these things crumble. Like, that's the bottom. I don't even know, I haven't dropped it. They're just so soft and crumbly that they are pretty hard to use for that. Like, you can twist it up this much and that's it. Otherwise, it's gonna crumble and break off, which is slightly frustrating. I don't know what about the formula. Maybe it's because of how much sparkle is in it. There's not a lot to bind it together. I don't know. And so because you have to be so gentle, I'm going to just twist it up that much and then just kind of drag it across the eyes. There's nothing on my eyes as well because I just want to see how this wears on its own. So you can, like, absolutely stunning. I'm gonna blend it kind of with my finger, tapping it, because this is a very dry stick. I don't think that a brush is going to be able to blend it out, quite frankly. And by I don't think, I mean I've tried and it does not work, because these are not like a creamy eye pencil, eye crayon. They are very, very dry. That is it, and I need your help because I can't figure this out. That line right there, is that just like shadow, or is it because it's not blending? Is that like shadow of it being just like, or is it not blending? Because I feel like at some angles I see like a harsh line of pigment right here, but then in other light I don't see it. This would be such a gorgeous topper if you are a cool toned gal and you feel like you cannot find cool toned like taupey brown silver sparkles, because I feel like every brown shadow that has glitter in it has gold glitter. I don't want that. I don't want gold. If I want a cool toned brown, I don't want it to have gold glitter. I want it to have silver glitter because I want it to be cool toned. And this is like one of the only shadows I feel like I can find that is a truly cool toned brownie taupe with silver glitter. I don't own many eyeshadows that are this color and give this effect, so I do keep it and use it, but if you are very sensitive to, you know, losing your product out of the container and it falling out, and I just don't understand why it does that. It's not like the packaging, it's literally like the formulation of the product is too sensitive. I feel like this is a product that you have to pick your battle on. Like, do you want it to be very creamy, easily blendable no matter how you blend it out and just stay together in one stick? Or do you want this specific color and this level of glitter? And that's really like a personal toss-up. I personally love this specific color and the level of shimmer that's in it. And I know that other people have had this issue too, because I've seen many videos where people talk about this, and Half Magic came out with more shades, but they didn't reformulate. So I don't think that there is a way to formulate it that it's going to not have those issues, because I feel like if there was, they would have done it by now. And because I used that shadow completely on its own, I will put down in the description box how it wears throughout the day, because my eyes were not primed. It was just the one cream stick eyeshadow on its own. If it fades, if it creases, that will be down in the description box below. But moving into lips, the NYX Lip IV Serum Gloss. I feel like this has taken the internet by storm, and I am the last person on earth to try it, it feels like. And I didn't want to try these at first because they were between $12 and $14 depending on where you got them, and that to me was just like way too high for a drugstore lip gloss. And I understand that it's like a hydrating gloss and tint. It's a pretty advanced formula, it sounded like, but I was like, you're a drugstore brand. Like, drugstore prices are already getting unhinged and out of control, but $14 for a lip gloss is crazy. But at Ulta, they were only $12, so I did get mine at Ulta. And I have the shade Bubblegum Burst, which is kind of like a bold rosy pink. And as you can see, this is a full pigment gloss. This is not a sheer gloss. This is a bold, full pigment high shine gloss. And with a lip product that is so bold and so high coverage, one of two things is gonna happen. Either it's gonna be a patchy, skippy mess, or this is gonna happen. Now, one swipe, full pigment all the way across, no skips, extremely creamy. So ridiculously creamy. I feel like a lot of lip stains are that more gel texture, and this still, I feel like, has that gel base. However, it is so creamy. It's like a cream gel, rich, plushy, super, like, kind of, not thick in a bad way, but thick in just like a very creamy gel way. And the applicator, since it is pointed, it is really easy to get a good line on the lips without a lip liner. And you guys know some of my favorite lip glosses of all time are the IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Serum glosses. These are extremely hydrating on the lips, and they are also full pigment. These are even more hydrating and have even more pigment than the IT Cosmetics glosses, and these are twice the price. These are $26 and this is $12. And these, like, they are so bold, but they are so comfortable. I feel like a lot of times when I wear a bold lip, I'm like, oh, I have to be so careful because it's gonna bleed or it's gonna get everywhere. These do not bleed, they stay in place. I am extremely impressed by this formula because I critiqued them at first because I thought they were too expensive. And while I still think they're expensive for a drugstore lip product, I understand now, feeling the formula and using it, that this probably is not a cheap product to make. So the formula of this probably costs a little bit more, so that's probably why the price had to be a little bit more. I don't think that you are getting just fully price gouged with this. Definitely upcharged a little bit, don't get me wrong, it's a business. But truly and unfortunately, the hype is legit on these. These are really good. I just wish, and some of you guys said this on TikTok as well, all of the colors are kind of dark and very bold. I want them to come out with like some more maybe like nuder or lighter colors. Those will still stain the lips, they'll still leave a stain, but I feel like every color you have to like commit to wearing a very bold lip. And they do leave a stain, but one of the things that I didn't like really think about is that it's not a light stain. If you just let this wear off throughout the day, at the end of the day, I thought that I thought it was still on. Like, I thought it was still on because my lips still felt very nice and hydrated. And the color was still full 100% this bold on my lips. And then I went to wipe it away and nothing came off. I was testing out this lip product and I had somewhere to be that night. I was going to my anniversary dinner and I was gonna wear a nude lip, and I left this on all day, and then I had these bold, hot rose lips. And I literally took a lip scrub and was scrubbing my lips. I don't know how deeply this penetrated, but I could not get it off. You have to commit to these if you are going to wear them all day long, which is a really great thing if you want your lip color to last, but a really bad thing if you maybe don't want to wear this color all day long. I've had this on for about 4 minutes now, so I'm gonna wipe it off, and so we'll see just how it leaves a much lighter stain. It's still stained. Like that's still a pretty good stain, much milder than if you let it wear off over the course of the day. Because most lip glosses, you do have to reapply them. You don't have to reapply this. You're not going to have to reapply this. You're gonna put it on once. It's gonna be shiny, glossy, comfortable, and the color is going to last all day. The hydration is going to last all day. The shine, believe it or not, will last most of the day. But this, you're gonna have this color on the entire rest of the day. Just take any sort of lip balm throughout the day and just top it off if your lips start feeling dry. So you're not gonna go through this as fast as you will other lip glosses, which I think also kind of helps to justify that higher price point because it's gonna last you longer because you don't have to reapply. This is the second thing in this video. This and the L'Oreal powder, both like just barely a little bit too expensive for my liking at the drugstore, but they're so good. And now the last product that we have is a setting spray. This is new from Dibs. This is the Love Beam setting spray. This is a, why did I shake it? Why did I just, it's a bi-phase formula. I was gonna show you, but I got too excited and I shook it. It is a bi-phase formula. This is supposed to help prep your skin and set your makeup and be like a hydrating mist all in one. I didn't use it before my makeup, but you can because it has that hydration. So it has those hydrating properties of a face mist, but it has the film formers and like makeup extension of a traditional setting spray. But it's not going to give you that kind of more flatter, matter look, which I feel like a lot of setting sprays do. This is going to help give that glow to your makeup as well. And just like every other Dibs product, this does smell like vanilla. It smells wonderful, but this is the makeup before. I already have kind of like that natural little glow coming from my skin from partially the skin tint and also because it's very hot in here. It's a pretty fine spray. It's by no means the finest spray that I've ever used, which I said in my Dibs Beauty video as well. You can see there are some kind of larger droplets on the face, but they don't mess up the makeup at all. They dry down, they're fine. Like I don't find that my makeup looks blotchy and splotchy afterwards, like with some nozzles. Yeah, see now it's completely dried down and there's like no evidence that there was a spot. This is the makeup afterwards. It does help set everything down, set it in place, but there is still that glow coming through my makeup. And I do find that this does help extend the wear of my makeup. However, it doesn't make my makeup transfer proof. Like if I touch my face, there's still some makeup that has come off on my hand. So it's not transfer proof, but my makeup does wear well throughout the day. It does exactly what it's gonna do, and there is nothing that I love more than a product that does exactly what it says it's gonna do. Whether I like the product or not, if it does what it says it's gonna do, I have respect for it. And this does what it says it's gonna do. And that is all of the new makeup that we have to try. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Maybe I gave you some really good reviews on a product. Maybe I talked you into some products. Maybe I talked you out of some products. Let me know. And if there's any new makeup that you wanna see that just came out that I didn't cover in this video, let me know. I will make sure to put it in the next one. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That way I know you guys like these kinds of videos and I will keep making them. If you don't like it, don't give it a thumbs down, but just like don't like it if you didn't like it. I think my favorite product from the entire video is the L'Oreal Blur-fection powder. I really went into this product not thinking I was gonna like it, and I really like it. I am reaching for it on a basically daily basis at this point. I was so skeptical, especially because of the price and talc free, and I didn't have high hopes for it. Being pink, everything was like going against it. 180 completely changed my mind on this product. It is so good. I just wish it came with more product, and I will complain about that until they make it bigger. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.